Well, hello. It's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been over a month, I think, since I posted. And God, there's a fair bit's happened. A fair bit has happened. This is gonna be super off the cuff. Actually, I don't know if you can hear my paper. I wrote down some notes of things I want to talk about because I've learned a lot in the last month. It's been quite a weird month. If you're a long-time viewer of the second channel, and by that I mean I think it's been around for like half a year. You'll recall I did an 100-day challenge. I can't recall when it started. It started in like June, July, and ended October 1st. And I set some goals. Let me try to think. The main one was hitting 100k on YouTube, 100k subs. All the other ones, I think I wanted to meditate 10 minutes daily. I wanted to read 8 books. I wanted to dunk. I feel like there could have been others. But the point is I blew everything out. We smashed all of them. I almost hit 200k subs on YouTube, or like 170 I think. I'm meditating 10 minutes a day. That's all good. Blew out all these goals. I didn't dunk. The one thing I'll admit is I didn't dunk in my 100-day challenge, because it wasn't that I was stopped doing physical stuff. It's just I didn't have as much of an interest in basketball. That felt like a bit of a flavor of the month thing, which I did for like 30 days. Oh, this plane. I fucking love where I live, and the fucking planes that just fly by every 10 seconds. Anyway, sorry. But no, I think I didn't actually get to unpack what I learnt in those 100 days. I sort of stopped uploading once the challenge ended, and that's because I kind of got into a little bit of a rut after it ended. Like, I had all these goals I was doing so well, and then it all ended, and I was like, what do I do? And I'll talk about that later, but first I think we should talk about the 100 days and what I learnt. What I learnt in those 100 days. So I don't know if I said it in my initial video, but for the 100 days, I actually cut myself off from all my friends in real life, which is pretty fun, pretty insane. I've had a good time explaining that to all my relatives who come over and ask about it, or other friends, external friends. And I was like, yeah, no, for 100 days, I locked myself in my room, basically, and made fucking videos. And did a lot of walking and meditating and reading. It does sound a little insane, but most people I tell actually they're quite impressed, which is, I mean, that's nice. It's nice getting some external validation for that. But no, I fully cut off communication. I think I messaged some people a few times. I met up with a couple people. I went to a concert at one point because I got tickets before. So I think I saw people 2 or 3 times maybe, but for the most part, I was fully off. I talked to people on Discord and stuff still, but all my in real life relationships, I had some shit going on, and I was just like, you know what? I think I need to take a step back. And that was what the catalyst for the 100 days was, actually. And I thought I could make it into a fun little challenge thing as well. But fuck, what did I learn? I think probably the most important thing is I've talked about this on my channel before, and I know I'm an idiot. I'm not particularly smart. I'm not particularly talented at anything. If I had to describe myself, I'm quite average. Actually, maybe not. That's a bit unfair. I'm probably a bit more intelligent than the average person. And when I say intelligent, I mean I can sit and study and remember things. I'm not actually like intelligent. I'm like academically probably pretty good. I can write a pretty banging essay on fucking, I don't know, the decolonialization of USSR for modern history. That's what I'm good at. I'm not actually very smart, but I don't think I'm that far removed from what the average person is. And I think the major takeaway I had from this 100 days was that I really think even small changes that you keep in a routine and consistent, oh my god, it's another fucking plane. Give me one moment. No, sorry, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not editing this audio because I can't be bothered. I like just a small commitment. If you want to pick up a new skill for 1 hour a day and you stick with it for, say, 100 days, that seems like a good amount. I actually think the amount of progress you can make, you have absolutely no idea if you're consistent with it. I actually think, I just think, you know what the biggest thing is? It's honestly just be my worldview. It's just, I am in a privileged spot where I was just able to fucking step away from everything, and I have my parents, I live at home. I do pay rent now, the fucking bitches have to pay rent, but I was in a position where I could just kind of step away from everything, which is, not everyone can do that, I understand that. Just say picking up a new skill for an hour a day, whether that be reading, whether that be, I don't know, an instrument or something like that. I think the power of consistency, self-discipline, and routine is like, actually, gonna use some gamer terms here, it's pretty fucking OP. It's pretty busted. Self-improvement is a little busted, but it is very, very, very challenging. So by far the biggest thing I learned was, of course, just fucking you can accomplish a lot in 100 days. I know I probably had some good fortune my way. I did have a video go fucking viral. That probably helped. I think I was gonna hit 100k anyway, but that video definitely helped things. Won't lie. The Bing Soy video, that's at 4.5 million views. So there was a bit of good fortune in that. But like, just seriously, with my physical health, with reading especially, and meditating, and working out, I was loving that. It was probably the most healthy and something I look forward to every day was working out. And God, you can really make good progress. And consistency is 100% the key to that. Short bursts of motivation, I just don't think are going to cut it for you. Although it's nice. Like right now, I'm feeling a short burst of motivation because I'm probably going to start another 100-day challenge, but I'll talk about that in a second. But truly, it comes down to self-discipline. It comes down to how hard you can stick to something. And I just think as an individual, on an individual level, you can accomplish. I just think everyone is capable of accomplishing so much more than what they realize. I think David Goggins said it's like people are only operating at 30 to 40% capacity. And I think that's 100% true. Even in my 100-day challenge, where I was, especially the first month, I was like actually working 10 hours a day non-stop. Like I was a bit scary with it. It just sort of started wane off a bit towards the end, but I think I was probably operating at like 70% capacity in that 100-day challenge on average. So I think there's still room for me. I'm going to murder every plane driver in Sydney and what do you call them, pilots. I'm going to gun you down in Minecraft. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because of the plane, but no, I'm talking about what people's capacity is. My bad. Yeah, even at the peak of what I was doing, when it came to like video making and stuff, I still think there's some more untapped potential I have as to like how hard I can work and dedicate myself towards something. But I'm definitely majorly impressed with what I was able to do in 100 days and the commitment I had to certain things. It was a little insane, but oh my God, was it worthwhile. So I think, yeah, the number one takeaway I have, there's some negative takeaways too, but the biggest positive takeaway is that on an individual level, as just a human being, I just think even with something like an hour, 2 hours a day, you could dedicate to a skill, to working out, maybe it's something like that. I just think the amount of progress you can make with consistency is overpowered. And in the patch notes, I think they need to nerf it a little bit, though it is very hard. And on the topic of things being hard, wow, you'll never guess what the hardest part about isolating yourself from all your relationships is for 100 days. It gets pretty fucking lonely. Gonna keep it 100. It wasn't too bad for the first, I want to say, the first 30 days I was like just solved, like I was in a different realm of operating. But as it got, I think it was after Bing Soy, I think it was like from days, I want to say like 40 to 70, so like in the middle. Oh, there were some tough days. No, when you were by yourself for 100 days, I think probably the most dangerous thing I ran into was that I didn't really have any people to like externalize thoughts to or bounce things off of. So I think potentially, even though I was like journaling and having a lot of self-reflection, I think it was still kind of easy to fall into these thought patterns, not necessarily the most healthy ones, of just kind of and just having them loop day in and day out. I'll wake up thinking something, go on a walk thinking it, forget about while I work for a bit, then I walked along the 100 days is what I'm trying to get at here. But I just found myself in these same thought patterns, and they were, I don't know if the toxic's the right word, I just don't think they were very productive. They weren't really advancing me, because I just started feeling kind of intensely lonely because of that. It's not like I could, the thing was like I could have just reached out to people if I needed to, and I did talk to some people for a little bit, but no, just the loneliness was quite hard at times, as you can probably imagine, because us humans, we're social beings. Even if you are more introverted, I don't think I am. I'm not super extroverted, but I don't think I'm introverted either. I'd probably say I lean slightly extroverted. I think I used to have a lot of social anxiety, so I thought I was introverted, but I don't think I'm actually quite extroverted as a person. But even so, just it's pretty hard. Like I can cope being on my own. I know a lot of people can't, but even I was starting to it started to really hit me in some of those times, and that was pretty tough. It wasn't super tough, but it was like, I'd rather not. But we persisted, and I think it was to my ultimate benefit. And I'm so thankful for the experience. I would not actually recommend anyone do this. I think it's a little silly. I think, no, an 100-day thing is fine, but cutting yourself off from the people around you probably isn't. But I'm also a little weird. I'm a bit, I don't know, I was going to say a bit mentally ill. I'm not actually mentally ill, but like, I don't know. I'm pretty ambitious with what I want to accomplish with this whole YouTube thing. So for me, it felt like the right thing to do, and I ultimately think it was the right thing to do. And I am very thankful for the experience. I wouldn't recommend anyone else do it. I'd recommend you set goals on a 100-day period, because I think 100 days is actually quite a good length of time to accomplish some things. But no, I wouldn't recommend you cut yourself off, and I'm never gonna do it again. Put myself in isolation like that. Well, I might be more withdrawn, but I don't think I can fully cut myself off, because I think as well with sustainability, long-term sustainability is ultimately something super important in self-help and self-improvement. And if I'm not talking to people and cutting myself off permanently, that's just not gonna fucking happen. So yeah, I would 100% recommend you set some goals, and give yourself a deadline, give yourself a time frame to do them in. I think that's just so powerful. You don't have to fucking pull yourself out of society and not talk to anyone, but the premise of 100 days, I definitely think that's a good thing, and I learned more about myself in that 100 days. I know it sounds fucking little corny, little corny, but no, I actually learned a lot about myself, especially towards the end, especially in those last 20 days. I think I became quite self-aware of some of the thought patterns I was getting into. I'm not gonna go into details about it. It's more about my personal life, but I kind of became self-conscious. I was like, maybe some of this stuff isn't healthy. One of the thoughts I realized, actually, and this is actually quite vulnerable, quite personal, but hey, it's the Elmax's self-help channel, so I'll give you the scoop. But I also realized more recently, actually, after the 100-day challenge, that I think I actually used self-improvement and all the progress and the success I was achieving as a way to kind of to avoid some deeper problems. I think I convinced myself from when I got on my self-help thing that like it was the answer to the problems I was experiencing, to some of the, like, I guess some issues of inadequacy, some low self-worth, and I think self-help's definitely helped, like, in that regard. I 100% God fucking grateful I'm on self-help. I think it's super valuable for everyone to be on, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all. I think some problems you have in life, you really need to, like, reflect on. You need to bounce them off other people. You need to have, you really need to be self-aware about it and think deeply about it. So I think that's probably one of the biggest realizations I've had after the challenge. I actually talked to a friend about this last night, because it was kind of weighing heavy on my mental. And I'm glad I actually told someone, because I'd kind of bottled it up for fucking half a year. But I sort of realized that self-help's great. I love it. But I don't think it's always the answer. I think some things, no matter how much success you get, no matter how much you improve, there's potentially some lingering thought patterns, some lingering ideas in your head that just aren't necessarily going to go away with fucking getting more jacked, upping your income, getting more famous, fucking whatever it may be. And it sounds self-explanatory, but I realized I thought self-help was actually curing some of the deeper things I was experiencing, but I realized no. I think I just convinced myself that they were. And I'm definitely happier. I'm definitely in a better position. I'm not complaining. But I just realized, I think for some of the more deep root cause stuff, you might fucking need therapy. I might need to go to therapy and talk it out. I don't think putting banger video out after banger video is necessarily going to resolve these issues. And I think that's probably one of the most productive things I realized. I was talking to my friend about last night. I told him we were out, and I was feeling a little overwhelmed. For whatever reason, we left. We were at a bar and we went outside, and I talked to him about it, and that helped a lot. I think that's one of the most productive thoughts I've had. So if you have some, like, I don't know, I don't want to prescribe you anything, but I just say to be cautious. That self-help, it's 100%. I think it's only a net positive, but it may not be able to solve every issue you have going on. Though I think it can help. It definitely helped me with the issues I faced, but I don't think I think there's other avenues. So you need to be self-aware. You need to reflect a lot on things, bounce ideas off people, and I think that can ultimately be more helpful than fucking working 10 hours a day, because I think that might just distract you a little bit. And I think that's what I realized, especially yesterday. But no, yeah, 100 days. Fuck, it was an experience. Very happy I did it. But the next thing I want to talk about is the aftermath. And I realized once the 100-day challenge finished, I call it recluse. I came back from the mountains, is how I describe it to people. I kind of fell into a rut immediately. Ideas weren't clicking the same. The worst thing, the thing that really has upset me, is I fucking have injured my shoulder really badly. So I can't work out for fucking at least 2 months, potentially not 6 months, which fucking, not gonna lie, that hurt. that sort of sent me into a bit of a rut. I was struggling with video ideas, nothing was really clicking, and I fell into a bit of a rut. And I think I realized why. It's because I think a lot of my self-worth and a lot of what I do is tied to how I'm progressing. So when I'm not progressing, I'm not feeling fucking utterly fantastic about myself, which is something I've realized. It's probably, I don't think it's the worst thing to have, because I think it's probably, some of your self-worth has to be associated with how well you're progressing and where you're at, right? But I feel like my self-worth, my sense of self-worth is probably too dominated by like how my habits and like my positive routine and positive habits I have implemented. And I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of my self-worth would just be about like my virtues and my values, how I am as a person, which is something more innate. So that's probably one thing I realized. But with this rut, I think I've realized why I had it is because, setting goals is so powerful. I think I made a video about this, but when I finished the challenge, I finished all my goals, I didn't set new ones immediately. Or if I did, they weren't like well thought out. So I wasn't really that invested in them. So every time I tried to work, I just wasn't very invested in it. October was pretty shitty, I'm not gonna lie. With the injury and not being able to work out, I just couldn't write. I was working on another video, I fucking wrote like 15,000 words for it, and I just hated it in the end. I had quite a rut. It wasn't very pleasant, but I realized it's because I didn't really articulate good goals, or I didn't really think about them well. And it just made me realize, self-improvement is not linear. It's fucking the opposite of linear. I'd argue it's probably exponential at times, when it rains, it pours, so to speak. I think I'm kind of happy I did have this rut, just because it's kind of made me realize, it's not always going to be up. It's not, like, the 100 days was, like, mostly a linear positive experience with some exponential positive experiences at times. But this rut I went into after it all ended made me realize that shit's only natural. You can't always be progressing, and setbacks are inevitable. And I think the big thing about self-improvement that I realize is it's like a lifetime commitment. Like, of course, short-term goals and achieving things in the short term is nice, but ultimately, with something like working out, right, that's the lifetime habit I want to have. I want to be someone who works out. I want to be someone who's healthy, and it's the fact my shoulder's injured now for 2-6 months, whatever it may be. Like, it hurts now, right? But in the end, when this is healed, I'm going to go back to it, and in the long term, I'm going to be working out again. It's going to be fine. So, yeah, I think that's something important I've also realized. It's just like, these are lifetime commitments with self-improvement. It's not always going to be a linear positive experience. Sometimes it's going to fucking suck. And I think I'm on the end of that sucking, though. And I say that because I realized I haven't given any new goals, any thinking. Like once I hit 100k was my main goal, just because I feel like the sub count where you've kind of made it as a YouTuber. Once you hit 100k, I feel like people take it seriously, because you get your verified tick. When I'm in a live stream, everyone goes, "Oh my god, so Maxo." So that was just, I didn't really care much past that for like sub goals and shit like that. But I realized it's even though it's not like, I don't really care about sub goals. Like when the challenge finished, right, I set some new sub goals. Can't even remember what they were, but I didn't really care about them was the issue. Like, even though I set them, I was like, oh yeah, 250k subs. I didn't really think about it. I just thought, yeah, that seems like a reasonable amount. And I just wasn't invested in the goals. So when I was working on videos, I wasn't really feeling that urgency or like that drive. But that's why I'm here, because this video, I've talked about my rut. We talked about the good parts, 100 days. We talked about the rut. I am here and happy to announce that tomorrow I am starting the official second 100-day challenge. That's right. I'm gonna do it again. I like 100 days. I feel like I'm Stalin in the USSR. We've got our fucking 5 years planned, boys. This year's gonna be the year, the 100 days of I don't know, but no, yeah, I really like 100 days as a format. But I'm not gonna do the whole cutting myself off from all my friends and the close people around me, because whilst I think it was good, I did it once. Don't really feel the need to do it again. I don't think I need to cut myself off fully again. I'm glad I did it, but I don't think I need to do it again. But no, I want to articulate to you some of my goals. Because another thing with goals, right, is not only do I need to be invested in them, but I like being publicly accountable to my goals. I like that I can put it out here, and I can have everyone fucking hear me say it. There's a weight to it. If I don't achieve it, I won't have achieved it. So that's the big thing too. So let me read you through something. For the next 100 days, which ends on February 1st, I want to have 250,000 subs on YouTube, which I think is pretty pretty good, pretty achievable. 50,000 subs in 100 days sounds pretty fine. I think I could be more ambitious with it potentially, but we'll see. The more important goals actually that I have, I want to start expanding my presence online more generally. So my Twitter's currently at 4,200 followers. In the next 100 days, I want to get that to 8,000, which that's pretty ambitious. That's the one that's going to be hard. And to do that, I'm going to try and tweet once a day. You're going to see some fucking bangers out of me, some hilarious posting. So hopefully that can help out there. And I also want to get my Instagram to 1,000 followers. It's currently at 400. I want to get that to 1,000. I need that so that when I'm at the fucking club picking up bitches, I can even say that with a straight face. You know, I can show them my Instagram and be like, oh yeah, look, I got 1,000 followers. And I only follow Tom York. And they'll be like, oh my god, how? So yeah, I want to grow my Instagram too. That's that. What's on the other goals? Because my shoulder's injured, I can't really set training goals. Initially, I wanted to, right now I can do 30 push-ups in a row. And I want to get that to 100. That was initially going to be my new goal when I was setting goals at the end of Recluse. But now that my shoulder's injured, I just can't fucking commit to that, which is pains me. But so I've set more general goals for physical stuff. The primary goal for the next 100 days is to make sure my shoulder's healed so I can get back into working out. But that's going to be a fucking long journey of exercises for it. Can't say I'm looking forward to it, but yeah. But I'm going to do some more general things. One of my friends has done some, he's also on self-improvement. And he had some more general goals of just like cutting out fast food and stuff like that. So I think one of my physical goals is going to be I'm going to try and cut out fast food entirely. And I'm going to cut out sugar as well. Just because I want to try and discipline myself in that regard. I think that'll be interesting. I think it's going to be quite challenging to me because I have had a sugar addiction my entire life. And even though I'm kind of eased off it a bit, I think fully cutting it out would be interesting. I think the only time I'll have sugar is if I'm drinking alcoholic beverages because, you know, fucking, I'm not gonna get a bourbon and Coke, no sugar. I mean, I could, but actually, maybe I will. Why am I even saying that? That's like, so why did I think that was dumb? No, okay, take it back. The exception will be to have sugar, and if someone gets me a drink, gets me a vodka Red Bull, I'm not going to say no. So that'll be that. But everything else going to cut out. Especially like soft drinks like that. That's my fucking kryptonite. So no fast food, no sugar, the main physical goals. And this 100 days, I put a big emphasis on reading and meditating in the last one. But this time I want to put a bigger emphasis on journaling and reflection. Because as I told you, I think there's some things self-improvement can't necessarily solve. I think you need more intense self-reflection. You need to talk to people about some things. So I want to put more of a focus on that for the next 100 days rather than just like building up the habits. So I want to journal more. I want to self-reflect more. I want to document things more. And just try and work through some of the more deeper issues I have, which I don't really want to talk about on my self-help channel just yet, because that feels a little too vulnerable. But yeah, I want to focus on that more. Yeah, I think I have some deep-rooted issues, some deep-rooted unhealthy mentalities. I might look into getting therapy. I think that can only be a good thing, to be honest, so we'll see about that. I'm actually going to cut down on my reading. Before I was meditating 10 minutes, then reading for 50 minutes, so it was like an hour. I realized I don't actually need to read as much as I think I do. So I'm going to cut that down to 30 minutes of reading, so 10 minutes meditate, 30 minutes reading, just because I don't really want to get through as many books. I'd rather be more concentrated on them and focus on them for a shorter period, just to, internalize them better, and not waste as much time, because like when you read self-help, like the whole point of self-help is that when you read it, you put it into action, right? And I feel like I'm at a point where I have all the fundamentals of self-help. It's more I'm reading niche stuff now. So I don't really feel as much as a drive to read for fucking an hour. So I think half an hour is probably smarter. So that'll be that. And the other goal, I have become a much more confident person in general since the start of the year. But I want to take it even further. I still think I have a little bit of social anxieties at times. It's not too bad, but it's something I want to up a bit more. And now that I won't be cutting myself off from the fucking world, I think we can get better at that too. So I want to be more confident, which I think. That'll just be a process, you know. It's about mindset there. I think I'm on the right path. Don't think that one will be an issue. It's more of a more abstract and vague goal. But I thought I should tell you them all truthfully so you can know where I'm at. And that's... I've gone through my page. You can hear it. It's all done. You've probably heard my breathing, so I'm not cutting out my breathing for this video. My so hopefully that hasn't been too bad. But yeah. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded much. I did have a bit of a rut for a month there. I was kind of off self-help a little bit. I was struggling with the habits I fucking adored when I started the challenge. But now I'm ready tomorrow to get back into the fucking swing of things. get fully back into it. It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited, really looking forward to it. I got a lot of work to do. One thing I think I'll finish on this. I talked a bit about it with my friend yesterday. Is that success and how content you are, your self-worth, it's all entirely subjective. You may think I have 200,000 subscribers, I must be on top of the world and elated, but truthfully, I don't feel that. How do I say this? I don't think I'm more fulfilled than I was at, say, 50,000 subs. I think when I was most fulfilled was when I was most adherent to my structure and routine of the day-to-day. And I just think that what I should end on is that, like, especially if you maybe want to be a YouTuber, maybe you want to do music, something that requires having eyes on you. Your goals, I know this sounds hypocritical because I've set goals for, like, YouTube and, like, 250k subs, all this shit, 8k on Twitter. But it sounds obvious, but bigger number, it doesn't mean shit. It can mean shit. Maybe it will make you happy. Of course it makes me happy. It's fucking, like, I earn a lot from this, and I'm very blessed to be in the position I am. But I kind of look at my self-image when I was at 50k subs, and I look at now that I'm at 200k subs. And I've kind of realized everything about my self-worth and view of myself is, like, the fact I've gained 150k subs I don't think it's improved my self-worth at all. What has improved my self-worth is working out. What has improved my self-worth is journaling and meditating and self-reflecting. All these other things with self-help are much more useful for my sense of self-worth. But when it comes to, like, things like these metrics that are reliant on external validation, I just be cautious with it. Because I know I've set the goal for 250k subs, and I just don't think it's going to make me feel any better. But I'm just kind of doing it as, like, a metric to just, I guess, grow. I'm not too invested in it on an emotional level. It's more just like as a byproduct of making better videos. I hope I'll get more subs, right? So if you're in a similar boat, you want to try YouTube, something like that, I just want you to know, you may be thinking, I know I thought it in 2 years ago when I was in lockdown in COVID, I was like, fuck man, if I had like 5k subs, I could make videos people watch, I'd be happy. And then I got 5k subs and I was like, oh, if I only had like 10k subs, oh, if I only had 20, 50, 100, 200, I'm saying 1 million. When I get to 1 million, it'll all be better. It won't. Just won't. And I've realized that a lot. So if you're wanting to do something similar to me, I just tell you to be cautious. I've done a lot of reading. I read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's the Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius. He had a journal where he wrote down thoughts over his life that he didn't mean to get published, but it's become one of, like, the most important books. I feel like a very important book. It's quite well renowned. It's like the basis for stoic philosophy, and I think that's probably one of the books I've read that really hit me in my 100-day challenge. I think the stoicism, some of the ideas of that are very valuable. So I'll give you a book recommendation to tie things out. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's not the easiest read in the world, but it's definitely helped me. I even have written up on my wall, Memento Mori. We'll finish on that. I forget what it means. I think it's you can die at any moment type beat. Where is it? Yeah. Memento Mori just basically means you could die at any second. And you should think about that with the choices you make, you know? Just remember that. Just remember you could die right now. So make sure the choices you make. You know, when you're about to make a big decision, I kind of think to myself, you know, Memento Mori, right? What's going to be the one that, like, I know is right, that's virtuous, that's correct, and will be the best for me in the long term. So, Memento Mori. I hope you're doing well. I think I'll be uploading again weekly. If you have questions, you want to email me, I'll probably respond to those too, because I don't know what I'll be talking about necessarily. This is probably been a mess. You'll probably hear my breathing. But yeah, farewell, Elite Level Gamer.